Ooh, welcome back, everybody. It's good to have you back once again. Today, I meet up with a lovely friend of mine. I've known her for a few years now, and I truly adore her. And she had a little baby girl not very recently, I think about 2 months now. So I took this as opportunity to sit down with her and spend some time, because it's been a while since I've gotten to sit down and chat with this lovely lady. So I decided, hey, let's talk about stuff. And today we're going to bring you some things that might be a little controversial to some people, but you know what, who cares, because these are some of the things that I tackle, some of the problems that I tackle in my own mind. I've still yet to reach a conclusion, because I mean, they're pretty big issues, and half of the population saying this, the other half is saying that, and myself being in a position of, I'd like to think of myself as, a scientifically oriented person and try to think things through, but also I want safety and regulation and freedom on my end, because I don't want to be told what to do, only decide what is best for myself. I met up with my friend Caitlyn to talk about some of the things we talked about. Let's just get back into it. The vaccination issue, whether or not she did or did not, and the reasons why she did that. Home birthing, home birthing and natural birthing without any pain pills or anything like that. And we talked about how it was a completely and huge spiritual, what's the right word? Experience. Yeah, I did it. I finally found a word that I couldn't find. Spiritual experience, and how it was completely beautiful and moving, and how her and her husband both felt this going through labor and the pregnancy itself. So they're very in tune with their emotions, and how just even having the baby inside completely changed how she thought and the person that she became. We talked about how when she gave birth, she died herself and became a completely different person, because you kind of do. We also talked about a little bit about the school systems and homeschooling. So this is a very much about, if you have a baby and you're thinking about having a baby, some of the things that other people have done that's not so mainstream, and it's not a cookie cutter way that we've been told to live through life. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, let's jump right in and we start talking in 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Well, the phones, they tear you away from, reality. Whatever you want to experience, whatever it is with the baby. Just like if I really just want to sit here and look at that plant for 3 hours, I have my phone vibrating. They knock me loose. It's like, back. Have to change my focus back on like my pant leg. It's vibrating.
It's not real life.
It's not real life. That's like for a good 2 years, maybe like a year and a half, I literally just lived with my phone on like silent, no vibrate, no nothing. Like, if somebody called, whatever.
Mine vibrates.
Like now I'm there because I miss a lot of phone calls. But it worked in my favor, because now nobody really calls me or texts me.
Exactly.
So it's just,
me too.
Unless it's an emergency, then it's like, hey, what's up? So it's a good little cord to pull, just to have that freedom of mind. I was gonna ask you, did you like what's it called? Baby.
Painkillers?
No, baby. Immune system.
Did we vaccinate?
Yes, did you vaccinate? I wanted to ask you about that.
Okay, so this isn't something I get into very often, and I usually keep it out of my personal life, but no, I don't believe in vaccinations. I think it's poison.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's really high levels of toxic materials, and there's so little, and I have a lot of problems with vaccinations. So first being, is it they'll vaccinate you the same way that they'll vaccinate her, same amount.
Yeah, I know.
And like, how much do you weigh?
170 probably, 160?
Yeah, 160. Yeah. And she weighs, what, 20 pounds?
If that, right?
No, she doesn't. She weighs like 12 pounds now. But my point, you see my point?
Yeah.
Like, that's so much. That's That's
It's a
so
lot for
much
the
of a
baby to
difference.
process.
And then two, like they'll vaccinate you the same way they'll vaccinate her, and they don't know your family history. They don't know how you react to some of those materials. They don't know hers. They don't know how she'll react, but they don't care.
They don't.
You know, it's not a case by case. It's just herd immunity. I don't believe in it.
So, like, I'm on the border of all of it because, like, that's why I ask you, because I don't know where to go. If I did have a baby right now, and then the wife or whoever it was, if she didn't know, it would just both be like, well, let's just not until we figure this out. Because on one side, I understand the scientific principle, learning about the body and how they work. On the other side, I understand also the heavy chemicals they're using. Exactly what you said. The baby is a tiny little sponge, and then you give it all of these chemicals that are not
right off the bat.
Right off the bat, the brain is not developing. The brain doesn't have a defense system, so it's like it's just flooding up there. And my favorite thing that people say, it's like, oh, it's just whatever's in there, it's in minute quantities. It's like, do you not understand how the human body like forms even?
Yeah.
Like when you have an egg cell and it divides in a way that's like on one end it's like 1 part per billion more of this whatever hormone or whatever thing than on the other side, and that's how it differentiates to feet and head, and then and then it gets more deeper. So it's like, okay, so it has this little amount of mercury or this little amount of aluminum or whatever else they put in there that I don't know about, and you put it in a baby who has no defense systems, and like you said, give me the same amount as they give her. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, I get it, and I don't. And then some things I've looked into would say, okay, give them like a regimen, just like a 3-4 year, just like one.
Delay schedule.
Yeah, delay schedule. And then I was like, okay, well, sure, that makes a little more sense. So you're not just bombarding the body. But again, it's like, what?
Well, my whole thing with it is that they're perfect the way they came out.
Yeah.
And they're building their immune system. And like breastfeeding, that's a way to like help them with their immune system. And they're getting all these nutrients, from that. So that's kind of my vaccinating.
Well, it's the antibodies in your breast milk. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like doing that for now. My whole stance on it is that I wouldn't do it until I felt comfortable doing it, and so far I haven't felt comfortable. And there's motherly instincts, and a lot of people these days, like mainstream moms, they're not following their instincts anymore. Like, people have learned to stop listening to their instincts, and they don't listen to what their inner voice is telling them. And like, my inner voice is telling me all these things, and I'm learning how to listen to them. And one of the things it's telling me is not to vaccinate. So.
And I agree with you, and I don't blame you one bit.
There's stuff too, like I think a lot of it's scare tactics. We saw it come to play just this winter with the flu shot, and the flu shot this year was 10% effective. And out of all these people that got the flu shot, my family included, my sister got the flu shot, they all got the flu. I haven't gotten the flu shot in like 5 years.
I've never gotten the flu shot.
Yeah.
I thought it was been a joke forever.
It's like, that's the other thing too. It's like, how effective are these vaccines? Because the people that are getting them are the ones that are getting whatever they're vaccinated against. There was a big measles outbreak in California at Disneyland, and everybody was like, it was this big scare thing. And it turns out the person that spread the measles was vaccinated. So, with the MMR. So it's just like, that's stupid. And I think it is the whole autism thing. It's like, nobody ever said that vaccines cause autism. It's more people that are sensitive to those, and they have like a likelihood of getting autism, and they're sensitive to those materials. Those are people that are getting it from that.
I believe that too.
It's not like vaccines cause autism. It's the likelihood of it causing this person who could possibly get it anyways, and it's just triggering. It's like a math.
Well, it's like you get like an allergy of any sort. If you overexpose it to young enough, it's like, oh well, now I have a reaction to that, and that reaction in that case is something in the brain that's autistic. You become autistic, which we can get into a conversation about. Like, I think autistic children, whether good or bad, they're the next generation of just like superhumans. Like, and I understand like some of them are just like completely withdrawn from the social world, and they need a lot of help with just functioning, but they're still internally in their mind, and you can tell by some of the genius autistic kids, like they're operating on a completely different level.
My cousin's autistic.
It's so cool. I love
Yeah,
it.
he knows a lot about space and everything, but I did read this one story where, like sometimes they'll slap their arms a lot and like scratch their arms and stuff like that, and this person was very, very much high spectrum, and he couldn't even really talk or communicate, and they found a way to for him to type and to communicate like he was trying to say, and he says it felt like there was bugs crawling all over him.
Wow.
That's so sad.
That is sad. It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why there's a, even though we have all this technological advancement and medicine, all this stuff, like we still have a lot of these prominent diseases or like this disorders that keep happening, and we just keep doing the same things. Like, oh, just don't worry about that. Take the flu shot. Take the medication. Don't think for yourself. Which is the biggest thing again. It's like if you went to a doctor and you said what you just said to me, they're like they belittle you, depending on which doctor you go to. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about. Blah 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 blah.
Google doctor, whatever.
Yeah, and I've experienced that just by having a doctor, trying to get a doctor to explain to me, or a dentist to explain to me the procedure. She's like, you won't understand this. I was like, bitch. You don't know me at all. It's like I know what I'm talking about. If I didn't know, I wouldn't ask you the question.
And doctors get paid more to give you vaccinations. Like they get paid per shot, and it's like, and two, they get paid because you're sick. Like that's what, if you weren't sick, they wouldn't need a doctor. Right?
It's a business, which is again why I strayed away from it and found another way to help people.
I'm more afraid of vaccinations than I am what they're vaccinating against. Like the whooping cough, measles, mumps, all those things. Like they're not gonna kill you. Like polio, that was one of the ones my mom was like really afraid of, and when I first started researching all this stuff, and it's like 98 is you don't even have symptoms. 98% of it. It's only like the 2% that get it really bad. And it's like, I don't really believe in preventative medicine. Like, if she were to ever contract anything, it's like, okay, then I'll take care of it. We live in the United States. If she gets measles, we'll be able to
do something about it.
Right.
I'm opposite. I think we should focus more on preventative medicine, because on my end it's more like health and being healthy. That's preventative instead of.
Oh well, yeah. I take that into account too, obviously. But
But in that case, it's like I'm strengthening my body, so if something comes, it's gonna bounce off, and which is the idea behind vaccines. I'm assuming is to you expose it, you get to strengthen the immune system, quote unquote. But again, you're exposing your body to all these things that are foreign, completely foreign.
That's what I'm saying. Can you strengthen your immune system by eating good, healthy food that doesn't have any GMOs and stuff in it? I think that's food is medicine.
Food is medicine. Hippocrates, whatever age. I should stop doing quotes. Two episodes ago, I was doing an episode with what's his name, Mark, and I'm sitting there just like, I keep trying to do quotes, and I was like, oh, this reminds me of this one quote, and I'm sitting there just like, well, I don't remember who's it by, and I don't even remember what the quote is, but I think the gist of it was something like this, and I just break it so bad. But I could barely even get the gist of it. I was like, you know what? I should probably just start using my own words forever. It's like, yeah, this guy said something there, but I'm pretty sure, whatever. I'm just gonna make something up. But yeah, let thy food be thy medicine. I know that's the quote.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Perfect.
Aristotle, Hippocrates, or whatever else said that. Which, for me, I don't think I've ever had the flu. And I've always had a good diet, but now that I do, I haven't been getting sick as much, and I'm working with freaking kids all the time, like I'll get a
True.
rare, just like weird feeling. I was like, what's happening? Like,
Whatever.
like what is this? And then I just go juice some ginger with like some garlic and some lemon, slam that down.
Yeah.
Right. Next day, I'm like, all right, I'm cool.
That's perfect.
And
That's
it-
exactly what I do.
Strengthen your immune system. Strengthen it day by day.
And vitamin C. Like I've cured so many things with vitamin C just in this last year, and I do high dosage, almost to like bowel intolerance. But and then you back off. But like I even cured mastitis, which is awful. My sister came over with like her prescription medicine, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable taking this breastfeeding. And I didn't do it. I cured it with vitamin C in one day.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you're breastfeeding too, you gotta be careful with what you put in there because it's just you're completing the cycle again. It's like what comes in, it goes out, and
I just don't trust doctors. This whole experience has led me to not trust them at all. You know, they make giving birth seem like a totally scary like sickness.
So before you gave birth, did you go and try to just like talk to the doctors about the process? And
Yeah. So I was planning a hospital birth with midwives, but still at Swedish Hospital. I was like 28 weeks pregnant, so I was like very far along, like almost in the third trimester. And I just couldn't see myself. Okay, so the doctors were like, the midwives, they were like, okay, it's time to start thinking about packing your hospital bag and like what you want to bring and stuff, and have it ready by the door. So I was like, okay. So I went home and I was like looking into all the stuff that I needed to bring and reading their list, and I was like, you know what? I can't envision this happening in the hospital. Like I don't see it happening. And then I started getting really anxious that I couldn't picture the birth. Lots of anxiety. And so I talked to Dylan about it, and I was like, you know, I can't see myself giving birth in the hospital. What if I just don't go? What if I just stay home? And he was like, well, he had some anxiety with, particularly about cutting her belly button. Or like, you know, like,
umbilical cord.
yeah. And I was like, well, you can YouTube a video about it. And he was like, no, I would rather have somebody experience there. And so we looked around this area, and we were like looking into who does home births, and we found this clinic. I guess you wouldn't even call it a clinic, but East Side Birth Center. And it's pretty close here. It's like 10 minutes away. And a bunch of midwives. There's like 3 midwives there, and they do home births. And my insurance covered it. So I called them, and I was like, I'm looking into switching care to a hospital, from a hospital to a birth center, and having a home birth. And they were all for it.
So, what was your experience with the doctors? Did they?
Oh, that was the original question. I went on a tangent.
That's okay. Tangents are cool. I like tangents.
Yeah, so my experience with them, I didn't really like it because I felt like a piece of meat. When I would voice to them, you know, my concerns or whatever, they would point me to like the CDC website. And it's like, okay, well, of course they're going to tell me, you know, all this stuff, like for it. And it's because it's a hospital.
Yeah.
So that's what they have to do. They have protocols they have to follow. I get it. It's not like, and two, they can't come out and be like, we're anti-vaxxers, you know, because even if they did feel that way.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like a natural approach at all. Like, even though they were midwives in the hospital, it didn't feel natural. And I really wanted it. I wanted, like, very little intervention from them. And I wanted Dylan to, like, catch her and basically deliver her. And my sister had given birth in the hospital, like, a year previous. And so I knew what the room looked like. It just, they try to make it as warm as possible, but it's still a hospital. It feels clinical. It feels sterile. And I just didn't want that. So.
I get that.
What?
I get that.
Yeah.
So how was how did you go down the path of natural birth? Because you didn't just sit down, just like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here until it comes, and then okay, oh, there it goes, it's coming. And, there's preparation, obviously, and if somebody wants to do it, like, what would they have to go through to do a natural birth?
To do a natural birth, well, to begin with, I really prepared my mind because I started.
You went to India and you meditated for months.
I did go to a hypnobirthing coach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was cool. I only did one session with her, unfortunately. She does it in like 3 sessions, and I only was able to pay for one. But that was really awesome. Hypnobirthing is cool. It's just about getting your mind to a meditative state. It's not really hypnotizing. It's just like calming yourself. And instead of calling them contractions, she calls them waves. Waves of energy. Because contraction, it means like contracting your body and tightening. And actually in birth, you don't want to tighten. You're supposed to be open, because once you fight labor, it becomes very painful. And so that was her whole gist of it. So I really liked that. It helped a lot.
Man, I can imagine.
I read a lot of books.
I have just visuals of just an actual wave going through like the ethereal, just membranes of the world or whatnot, just like through the air, and then you being a part of the universe, which you are, and then just kind of catch those and just ride the wave. I don't know.
Totally
it feels like it'd be
wave.
trippy. It feels like it'd be so trippy.
It was so trippy. And it as soon as she said that, and later on, 3 months later when I gave birth, I realized it does feel like waves of energy. That is what it is. And you do have to ride them out. You can't, because you're already involved at that state. Like there's no going back.
Well, yeah,
It's too late.
you have to accept your circumstances. Like
Right.
wherever you find yourself, you got to accept where you are, and then just kind of let it happen. So, same thing as when I cut my fingers, I could have fought the circumstances that
Right.
led me to be there, and then if I would have fought it, I probably would have probably felt the pain, probably freaked out, anxiety, nervous, all these things. But instead, I was like, okay. Just
Well,
okay.
yeah,
Just
pain
like,
is just a part of your mind. you know?
exactly.
So it was not a pain. I mean, people ask me all the time, like, was it painful? And it's just like, it is, but it's manageable. It's a very manageable pain. And in a way, it's kind of like a good pain because you're finally doing what your body has been waiting to do as a woman for all this time. Like, your body wants to give birth. That's what you're here for. And so it almost feels good in that way. It's like very productive. It's a very productive pain.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I hated pregnancy, but I loved giving birth. And I didn't think I was going to, but it's so empowering. It's crazy empowering. Like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And it is trippy. You have so much adrenaline and oxytocin going through your body, like so much. It's crazy.
How do you feel? So spiritually speaking, what do you see? How do you see yourself as like a birth giver, like a mom now? Like spiritually speaking, like what is that?
Well, I definitely feel more connected to my higher self, just because you kind of essentially die in giving birth. Like that old you is no longer. I mean, it's part of you, but you just meet this new person that has just like it's just more. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I definitely listen to my higher self more. Giving birth, you meet your higher self, and you just trust your body, which is cool. Your mind and your body are connected, but also separated. It's crazy.
It definitely is. Like for me, the idea of having a baby, right? And obviously me being on the other side of it all, like I won't even have to like carry it or give birth. Which again, at a point, there's half of me, just trying to imagine that and just finds it the most fascinating thing, and it would be an amazing thing to experience because I think it would just be magical. But on the other side, it's like, making a baby. It's like for me, it's literally creating a brand new world to be in this world. In my mind, we are all representations of all the universes that there are, bubbling around. If you buy into the multiverse theory, which I definitely do, it makes sense. There's nothing that exists that there's only one of that we can see in our observable universe. So why would the universe be a universe, right?
Yeah.
So in my idea, it's anytime there is a baby that's being born, it's like a new, like two parallel universes collide,
Yeah.
right? Giving birth to a new one, which is the same thing. Two parallel universes, you and your husband, right? And it's like you have your life and your experiences, he has his and his experiences, and then you come together and bam, something brand new, fresh comes out with fresh eyes, and it's up to you to fill that with experiences and with preconceived notions and ideas of how to view the world, and then they get to grow up, and then so for me it's such a heavy thing, and then it be
You have a responsibility.
your responsibility, and it literally makes you God. You just made a world,
Yes.
and it's up to you. What kind of world it's going to be? Is it going to be a good world? Is it going to be a negative world?
And it's funny you say that too, because that's also true in birth. Like, I reminded myself in early labor that this experience, it can be as positive or as negative as I want it to be, because I'm in control of this. And I really wanted a beautiful, positive experience, and that's exactly what I had, because I wanted it so bad. And I knew I was in charge of making that happen. And as for like being a male on the other side, my hypnobirthing instructor, she said husbands and boyfriend lovers, whatever they may be,
Participants.
they're in labor too.
Uh-huh.
They're experiencing things too, and just because they're not the female giving birth, they're also giving birth in a way.
Spiritual birth.
Yeah, because they're experiencing all of this with you, and they feel things also. And Dylan, he reflects on that, and he felt, because I was like, what were we doing in early labor? Because it's a long time, and you're kind of like out of your mind. Like, I was in the bath and I was like somewhere else. I was like there, but I was also somewhere else
I
in
get
my
you.
mind. And he was like, I don't know. I was somewhere else too. He was like, hours were passing by, and it's just, he's like, I was just there with you, like feeling those things. And he's like, you're excited, you're nervous, you have anxiety, your own anxieties. So it's interesting to think about the other side.
Well, there's some paintings by Alex Gray, and just like psychedelic artists, right? And if most people know him, Tool has got him on his cover, and
Jewel?
no, Tool.
Oh.
And
very different than Jewel.
Yeah, very, very. But I'm sure if you saw one of his paintings, you'd be like, oh, that guy. Because even me too, I was like, I don't know who Alex Gray was, and then I googled his name. I was like, oh, this is Alex Gray. Oh yeah. Yeah. So very psychedelic, very ethereal. He captures very greatly I would say the spiritual connection through the human body. So what he would do is he'd paint a picture of a male, female, whatever, maybe a baby. There's one, and he would paint it with the energy, cosmic energies connecting to your third eye chakra, or to you through you exfoliating out. That's not the right word, but whatever. And then just going down into the baby too, and how
Exhaling out?
no, I don't know. And then just how the woman is basically like a portal for a new soul to enter. And then he just captured that so valiantly and colorfully. You feel that that's the truth, and what you're saying right now. I just see that happening. As the two of you.
You're like a vessel.
Yeah, like the two of you sitting there next to the bathtub. You don't know where you are, but you're just sitting there, just letting these cosmic rays, or just the universe, just take hold of you while you're merging in a way, in the spiritual realm to give birth to allow this soul to just pass through the veil,
crazy.
and just now it's here.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
I know, that's so beautifully said, though. That's exactly it.
So yeah, that's why I'm sitting there. I'd be fascinated. Obviously, I'd want to have children and all that stuff.
Yes.
But oh gosh, on this side, it seems like such a, not even a hurdle, but like you said, just a huge responsibility, and
Not that I wouldn't be ready for it, but it's like right now it's like, wow.
I don't think anybody is ever truly ready for it.
Mhm.
I think that that's a stupid notion that we need to get rid of. Because I hear that all the time from friends, you know, everybody. Oh, I'm not ready yet. It's like, well, honestly, you're probably never going to be ready.
Mhm.
If you want to put it in those terms.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's ready for this huge, like, your whole life is completely different.
Mhm.
Completely. Like, even if you keep your old life, you go back to your old job, you know, you're not the same anymore afterwards. You're just not. You can't possibly be.
Mhm.
Thank God, because I liked myself before, but there was a lot of things that have changed since becoming a mother, and it's like I am more real now, and I do see that there's a greater truth to be like searching out, and because I felt it, you know, I felt in that moment when she came into the world, it's just like that is the realest thing. You know? Now I search for that.
I get you. For me, it was art, which is the same. It's easier to make art. Maybe, I don't know. Art sucks too. Sometimes it's painful.
Yeah, and I think that's good though. I think that's good to go through. And it's just, so now it's just, I don't have time for things that aren't true or real. And it's just,
And you definitely feel the difference because one will feed you, the other one will drain you, and then the ones that are drain you, they want your life force, and then you're like, no, you will not have my life force. Thank you very much. I will invest my life force in myself and in people who I love,
Right.
and who don't want to kill me
yes.
by suffocating, by taking my life force, basically. I get you.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, when I saw you last, we were talking about the phones and like technology, like trying to remove myself from that.
Hit the Red Robin
Yeah.
for 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to remove myself from this fake world that the universe seems, like society wants you to believe that these things are important, you know, like scrolling through. And I recently reread 1984, and it's so creepy
Nice,
how
yeah.
like similar it is to the world right now.
Thought
But
police.
it's just like, she doesn't know what a phone is. You know, she doesn't know what like Facebook is, and there's something so refreshing in that. And it's like, okay, well, I want her to be brought up in our, like, I say it in a world, but it's like our world, you know, our little bubble, where that stuff doesn't seem important. And who's gonna show her that but me? You know? And so,
You have to lead by example, yeah. So what do you think about like schooling? I know it's young, it's still early, but
so we're
homeschooling?
unschooling.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna teach her, you know, like homesteading stuff. But then we'll have our land with the goats, chickens and stuff like that. Making your own food. Yeah, I also believe that there are a lot of teachers in my life. Like,
Well, everything's a teacher if you listen hard enough.
my father-in-law, Dylan's stepdad, is like a genius. He's really smart. He's an engineer, and I want him to like teach her stuff. You know, I want my mother-in-law, who I love, to teach her things. My mom to teach. You know, I think that there's a lot of teachers that can show her stuff,
Of course.
and she's gonna learn more in that world than she would in sitting in a public school looking at the clock,
Oh yeah.
wondering when she's gonna be out of school. You know?
Like one of the teachers whom I admire right now. He's a 4th grade teacher, and just like the only other guy in life that I've met that talks about like quantum entanglement and quantum mechanics, and that's like stuff that comes out of his mouth. And I was like, God, I love you so much. And he talks about that to his kids too. Just trying to instill this grand view of the universe into young minds, so then they can hopefully plan better or just act better. So he does the same thing. He has 4 kids. He goes home. He writes curriculum for his wife. The wife stays at home, and then the wife teaches the kids while he's teaching public school. So that way, because he understands, like as a teacher, what's going on in public schools. It's the same things. Like there's racism going on. There's violence. There's things that detract the kids from learning. And the same thing, like with my sister, she will always come home. She's like, my teacher yelled at the student again, and I don't blame the teacher because
the student again just like disrupts, listens to music like when he's not supposed to. He runs around, he puts other people in danger, and you're just like, okay, well, he needs to deal with that. But in him dealing with that, he's stopping being a teacher. He's not providing lessons anymore, and the other kids are just sitting there like, okay. And then if the ones that know, the ones that are smart and they know how to handle it, they'll learn, but they won't excel. And the ones who are struggling, they're the ones that are making a ruckus, and they don't want to learn.
Yeah, I don't want to put her, because I know, I mean, I'm hoping to have her be a certain kind of human, and is not going to be doing stuff like that. But at the same time, like, you can't control who she would be in a classroom with, and it's like, I don't know how those kids are being raised. Like, I don't know what kind of thing that they're being taught when they go home, like what video games they're playing. I don't know how violent they are, and I don't need to like be at home worrying about who she's interacting with. You know?
No, I agree. It's like,
especially now with all the shootings that are going on, I was like, wow, this has really like made me more sure than ever about my decision to homeschool.
Yeah, I agree. And it's sad that it's happening. I talked about a little bit of this with Toby in my last episode. But yeah, it's stupid, and it's on my end too. It's like being a teacher, just sitting and knowing that that's a reality.
I know.
Like, what? Shouldn't we? Like I said, Toby too. It's like that's our greatest resource as the kids. You know, if we all die off, they're next. I mean, we are going to die off. They're next.
Yeah.
We want to invest
in
in
the next
them.
generation.
And like when that happens, you know, fear gets instilled, and when you're living off of fear, when you're living based with, you know, your actions are driven by fear, you're not going anywhere good.
No.
So I respect that you want to homeschool them. Like obviously, that being said, you know, a foundation of knowledge is necessary. You know, it's like Khan Academy. I don't know if you ever heard of that one. So KHAN Academy. It has videos by just like world-renowned professors or whatnot, and just it breaks everything down by steps. So it's like first grade math, second grade math, third grade math. You can watch little YouTube videos that's like 10-minute videos. Here's how you do this, and then here's some practice stuff. And then you do that as long as you want, and then it goes up to physics, it goes up to calculus, it goes to chemistry, it goes to organic chemistry, marketing, economics. It's like even if you wanted to just like learn stuff right now, I go on Khan Academy myself and just like relearning organic chemistry.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so it's like if you give the child, which is my goal ever, give the child the desire to learn, and then they'll go off and they'll explore all of the possibilities.
Yeah, and I think that learning should be like a fun thing. It shouldn't be, and you can learn all the time. And what's really cool about homeschooling, I've read so many articles about it, is like during the day and stuff when all these kids are at school, like museums are cheaper, like everything's empty, you know, and there's like all these learning experiences.
Man,
and I want learning to be fun. I don't want it to be like, okay, now you gotta sit down and do this worksheet, you know. It shouldn't be like that.
That's not how it learns anyway. That's not how I learn now. You know, I sit there, it's like I'm thinking, okay, I really want to do something. It's like you okay, from where I'm sitting, I already understand where I'm going and what I'm trying to accomplish, so it's easier for me to sit back and say, okay, if I want to accomplish this goal, I need to have this sort of knowledge, and then to get this knowledge, I have to go around here, I have to dig around here. And then when I'm digging, I was like, oh, this is cool, this is interesting, I can use this. This is cool, interesting, I can use this. And I'm just like compiling these treasures from junk that other people don't want. But it's I think it's hard when you're a child because you don't know what you're going to be doing, so it's like you don't know what to grab onto. It's like, okay, they're saying a lot of things, but do I want any of this? And that's why they say, it's like, why am I learning math? Why am I learning science? Because that's life, and you need the tools to do whatever. It's like even if you're going to be an engineer or if you're going to be a designer, you're going to need to know math, at least how to convert or move around. So it's like, which is what you said is a perfect example. It's like take the learning to museums. Like, here's the things that you can do. Here's the experiences that you can have.
You can have a math lesson in the grocery store.
You can. It's like,
you know what I mean?
This costs $10. This costs $9.99.
And it's more towards real life than it is like a worksheet where it's like, oh, Grandpa has 7 bananas. It's like, you know what I mean? Then you can actually be like, oh, here is 3 bananas. Here, you know, and actually do it with real stuff.
Exactly. The tax is 8.16%. Use your brain. No calculators allowed because there it is. Or like with Anna, anytime we go to a grocery store, like I try to teach her conversational skills because I'll sit there like I got no problem talking to people.
Right.
And the lady or the guy behind the register is like, hey, what's up? You know, it's like blah 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 blah.
Sure.
And then most of the time I'll send her up if she's buying something for herself. I was like, you best talk to that person. And then she'd go up there and she's like, hi. And just sits there being quiet. And I'm like,
She's so cute. I'm sure people
sure,
love
she's
that.
cute, but she doesn't say anything. And then I'll buy something behind her, and then I'll just open up a whole world of conversation with the person with absolutely nothing. And then I look at her, I was like, next time you do this, say something. Like, ask him something. It doesn't matter what you ask him. Just ask him something. Hey, how's your day? You like the color blue? What's your favorite thing about whales? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Thing about whales.
Right? You use that too. When you go to the next store, just ask somebody, what's your favorite thing about whales? I'm going to do it too. Everybody do it. Everybody do it.
What's your favorite thing about whales?
But again, it's like, it's a great learning experience. And it's like, if you can learn to just have an interest in somebody else and just know that there's no barriers between you two. Even if you don't know something, you probably know it. You might know it, and if you don't, I can talk to somebody else who might know it, and then just a friendship, he'll help you out. You don't have to be a genius to be a good person.
No.
She's the cutest thing ever. It was a good tea.
Yeah.
Anything else you think people could be swayed by to like do a natural birth?
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I believe
It's
it.
beautiful. My healing was like cut in half. I mean, I was like up and walking around the next day. Like I was totally fine. And, I mean, just having the clear mind from not having any medication, you feel amazing afterwards. Because, like I said, you don't need that stuff.
See,
The oxygen, it takes care of it for you. And too, like, the hormones that get released in your mind, like in your brain, when you're giving birth, it's pain relief. Like, it's natural pain relief. And you have a high from it too. So it's just like, why wouldn't you want to experience that?
that's what I was gonna say. It's like when you, I hate being numb. I hate painkillers. Like I hate them. Or like anesthetics, because painkillers don't really work on me. But anesthetics, if you local anesthesia or whatnot, I hate that numb feeling. I'd rather feel the pain, because at least then you can.
It's real.
It's real. It's
tangible.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I could only imagine, like during childbirth again, like your body is doing all these crazy things, and it's not just like pain, like you're getting stabbed. It's
Right.
There is a flood of hormones
and
coming
you're
out,
supposed to do it. Like,
and you're supposed to feel it too.
Yeah, like being stabbed is completely different than giving, because you're not supposed to feel that pain. But like being a woman, you're supposed to feel the pain of giving a childbearing. You know what
I think
mean?
it's a rite of passage, and it's like even with my cat, I didn't want to get her fixed. Roxy, I didn't want to get her fixed. It's like she needs to experience childbirth. Like she deserves that as a female. I don't care if she's a cat, and she did. And like I was sitting there as like a proud dad, but I was sitting there, I was like, dude, what do I do? What do I do? And then she just took care of everything.
Yeah,
The babies came out. She ate the uterus. Like, oh wow, the internet said it was gonna happen, and she did it.
Yep.
How did she know?
You just know.
Nature's amazing. And
I
the
also
cats-
ate my placenta.
Do it. Did you finish it all?
Yeah, I did. Well, okay, so for the first 2 days, my mom cut off a chunk of it when after I delivered it, and my friend came. My friend has a business, and she came and picked it up, and she took it to her house and encapsulated it. And so while I was waiting for it to come back, I blended it up in smoothies, like little chunks. I can taste it all. I mean, the smoothies are so powerful.
Powerful. Well, I mean,
The
you put enough
fruits and
berries.
stuff,
Yeah,
you
put
can
enough.
even taste it. And
High in iron.
yeah, and I actually hemorrhaged pretty bad giving birth. So I lost 1.5 liters of blood. I was liters, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
So
still a lot. Yeah,
it was a lot. So like doing the placenta thing, it really helped, and I got like 115 pills back. So like 90 pills is it's pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
But the most is like 250. I think my friend said. I got 115, so it's like kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just finished them like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just enough a little pill.
Yeah, the same thing as whatever. Like we at home encapsulate turmeric, just as a pain reliever.
Oh, yeah.
And the same thing, just you don't taste it. It's in the capsule. It doesn't
I know,
matter.
right?
You're just getting the benefits from it. Because I mean, turmeric. Have you tried just turmeric powder?
Oh yeah.
Just a spoonful of turmeric. It sucks.
It does suck.
It sucks.
I have done that before.
Yeah, so just put it in a capsule, experience all the benefits. Which again, with the uterus, same thing. Just experience all the benefits and don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, and I just felt like in the wild, that's what all animals do. So mine went, and I felt like that too with giving birth. It's just like, why would I go to a hospital that's like completely unfamiliar to me? Like, as like a mammal, when you go into an unfamiliar place and you're in a really vulnerable position, like giving birth, you're very vulnerable. Yeah, you're gonna tense up because you're not in.
You don't feel safe.
You're not in a safe place.
Yeah.
Even though in your mind you might think hospitals are safe or whatever. But me personally, I didn't feel that way. So being at home was a way for me to be looser.
But even then, it's like hospitals are. They're the dirtiest places ever
I
because
know.
Sick people all the
Well,
time,
they're for
and
the
then
sick.
well, yeah, for the sick, and all the bacteria is all there. So then it gets wiped down with bleach and all that stuff, heavy chemicals, which then gives birth to antibiotic-resistant bacteria, which they just hang around in hospitals. So it's like if you want to give birth, first of all, it's a quote unquote sterile environment, but it's sterile for the weak things, and it's festered with the strong things. So it's like, okay, no, if you're in there, maybe that's why they give the vaccine shots, because protect them from themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I just no thank you to any
I
of
would
that.
do it at the time
and
too.
too, like, I have never really had to go to the hospital for anything. I've never been that sick or I've had like one broken bone, but I was in like 3rd grade or something when it happened. So for me, like getting in the car with like my birth bag or whatever, like on the way to the hospital, I would have felt anxiety. I would have felt like I was hurt. I would have felt like, and it's just like, actually you're just giving birth. So why do you need to go there?
Again, like you said, our body knows what it's doing. Even if we consciously don't know, like the subconscious, the unconscious mind, thousands of years of just fine-tuning things. So it's like, just accept that your body knows. Again, to your own health. If you just give your body the proper nutrients, it's going to fight off infections by itself. It's going to heal itself. I don't even have to think about healing my fingers. It just squeeze together, and then there it is. Oh, now it's not bleeding anymore. Would you look at that? And you have to worry about it.
Yeah, I think it's trusting your body. That's a big step on it. Trusting your body. Take care of you.
Don't undermine your body and trust it. Yeah.
Obviously, there are situations where giving birth in the hospital is the best thing, and I'm all for that. But I'm just saying, if you're having a natural pregnancy and everything's going fine, there's really no need to do that.
And like you said, it's probably smart to have an expert there. Like I don't know if I would feel too comfortable just like me and the wife just having a baby. As cool as that would be,
unassisted,
but having somebody that has that knowledge, unless maybe both of you are just very knowledgeable in what's going on, maybe your doctors.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
I'm very close to our midwife now. Like, she's awesome. I'm gonna go have like lunch with her. Yeah, like she's amazing. And like it was really nice to have them there, just because like there were things that they helped with, like breathing techniques I wouldn't have even thought of. They brought a lot to the table. And just like they were very calm, and it made me calm, knowing that nothing crazy was happening. At any point where I began to feel fear, I could just look at them and they were just like calm faced.
Cool.
They were just like, everything's fine, like you're just giving birth, you're okay, like this is normal. And just knowing that, it made me more relaxed. Because there are moments where you're like, holy shit, I feel like I'm like dying.
Yeah.
You know, I think that this doesn't seem right, you know, and you feel fear, but yeah, having people there, they're not scared. It's
That's
okay,
good.
I'm good.
And yeah, and you are dying, like you said. Your old self is dying, and
Yeah.
brand new self is being born. New baby being born, new human being born, and it's like,
Well, I
That's
think
insane.
that there must be like in your mind like a closed door,
mm-hmm.
and then when you're in that moment, it gets open.
There's a lot of closed doors.
Yeah, there's a lot of closed doors, definitely, and experiences do open them.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like kind of funny because I'll like see like with my friends or things like people post things and like they get in arguments based off like pregnancy things and like childbirth things, and it's just like it's different when you're pregnant though and you have a baby growing inside you. You make decisions differently as opposed from somebody who's never been in that their shoes, because you have a different motivation.
Well, different motivation, you had different thoughts, different mindset, completely.
Different mindset,
Yeah.
completely. Like the vaccine thing, before I got pregnant, this is just an example.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I'll probably vaccinate, you know, like whatever. But when you have a baby growing inside you, this like innocent, like fresh being, it changes your opinion on things, you know?
Like a good example is, so like the way our gut bacteria works, there's a, okay, jump a little bit further back. So we are driven by our guts too, because there's a lot of neural networks down there. So it's like based on what we're, nutrients or whatever's in our body, it sends to our brain to modify our behavior. So it's like, cravings also play a role with that. There's a virus that gets inside of rats or mice, and it makes them sexually attractive to cat's urine or to cats. So they seek out cats, the mice,
Weird.
right? So it's completely changed the behavior of the
Yeah.
mice. It's completely different. So then they find cats. The cat eats the mice, obviously, and then the parasite thrives in the cat's system, right? So
Yeah.
that's why the virus or the parasite is driving the behavior. So same thing with us. Our gut biome is driving our behavior, and here's the same thing. You have a baby inside of you. Before you have it, you have your own thoughts. They're clear. Whatever are playing a role, they're playing a role, and now you have something completely different, just changing and telling you things too. So it's like from your baby, maybe she knows also what's better for her too, her body, and she's giving you those messages through.
She's like, no, thank you.
She's like, yeah, I want this, and you're like, for some reason I feel like she doesn't want this. And then people are like, you're crazy, but you're listening to your body and you're listening to her.
It's kind of like a human rights. It's just like, okay, well, you are not an extension of me. As much as I can like feel like you are, she actually isn't. She's a separate human being, and I feel like she should
love
be
you
able
for
to
saying that.
choose those things herself. If she wants to do that when she's older, she can.
Yeah.
You know, if she wants to go to school when she's older, she can write me an essay, and we'll talk about it then. You know, like things like that, like just everything.
Your job is just to give her the best head start in life, and when she's 16 or whatever, she's like, you know what, I think I want vaccines.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you made a decision, go get your vaccines. But up until that point,
Informed decisions.
obviously informed. It's not just like, I want to do these things, Mom.
I know. I always like talk about. I'm like, oh God, watch her like become a doctor or something.
Yeah, that'd be so funny. I
The
mean, it'd be
thing
cool.
that I like steer away from is like she becomes.
Well, there's a lot of naturopaths too, So
Yeah.
it's like, if she goes down that route, she hopefully finds her own way into it, and then she could still go with natural.
It's just funny. It's just a joke I sometimes say.
That'd be funny. Mom.
One thing
It's because you didn't give me vaccine shots, that's why, Mom.
Well, we've done a lot of things where when she gets older, she's gonna be like, my parents are so weird. We buried her when her little belly button thing fell off. We buried it in our jade plant.
In your eggplant?
Our jade plant.
Oh, jade plant? That's funny.
Yeah. I'll be like,
You're gonna grow another
that's really
human.
flourishing. I ate my placenta. She'll probably think that's weird. Just the fact that I had a home birth, she might think it's weird one day. It's just like, it's a hippie, you know. She's going to a Grateful Dead show this Sunday.
She is? Lucky.
Yeah. Her first like big festival. It's at the court. It's gonna be sweet.
That is gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Lennon.
No.
No. Oh.
The new one, John.
McCormick.
He's like now. He's popular now.
Oh.
John.
John Mayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, John
He's
Mayer. Okay.
he's playing with them now.
Oh, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, John Mayer.
With the Ungrateful Dead?
Mm-hmm. He joined them like
John
a
Mayer's
year
really
ago
good.
or something. What?
John Mayer's really good.
Yeah, he's really good, but he's also kind of a douchebag.
Really?
Yeah. But everybody was hoping that by joining the Grateful Dead, it might humble him some.
Oh, I guess we'll see. We all have our lessons to learn, so he's great. He's a great guitarist. He plays great.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe the
Hopefully
douche
it
level will go
mellows
down.
him out a little bit.
That's funny. Yeah. Cool. Well, I enjoyed this informative talk.
Yeah.
I'm happy you could
Me
shed
too.
some light on some of these issues that, I mean, I was just on the borderline. Not that this helped at all. I'm still on the border of everything, except for homeschooling and home birth. Those are things that I would like my wife to
Well,
agree with me
hopefully
on.
they get better by the time. I mean, that's the thing too. It's like I'm not anti-vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them to be safer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're there for a reason, but at the same time, don't give me what's a good example? Don't give me a strawberry covered in oil.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
exactly.
it's like okay, so the strawberry is going to give me some benefits, but the oil is probably going to kill me. It's
Right.
like, can you cover that strawberry in chocolate maybe? It's like, chocolate's not going to kill me that bad. It's going to make it even taste good.
Yeah.
It's just not that bad good for me, but at least it's not empty or toxic. So I completely agree with you. Cool.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Well, look at that. You sat through the whole thing. You didn't die. Maybe you cringed sometimes. Maybe you were saying exactly what you were thinking. Maybe you have your own opinions. And you know what? You're supposed to have your own opinions. You're not supposed to let my insecurities or my opinions influence you. I'm not sitting here. I'm not telling you I'm God or anything. Well, sometimes I am. But I'm not telling you that I'm your God. I'm my own God. And I do whatever I want for me. And I try to be as educated and as well as informed as possible about anything. But again, I'm not perfect. None of us are, and we're all doing our best self. We're just doing our best, and I hope that same thing for you. And now, I know this is all you've been waiting for, and this is what I look forward to too as well. I'm gonna play you a song. Now enjoy.
Been months and turn around, and now I see the beauty that was once within me. So won't you please just let me be? I'll do my best, just like I said I would. Just let me breathe. We are gonna grow. We're gonna thrive. We're gonna go away so far, far away, and then we'll make a paradise for you. Just know you are just you and me. Together we'll be
sit around and we talk about the bigger things in life. But mostly it's all freedom, and they can't have our lives. What I choose to do, I still don't know. I still don't know. Maybe when she will come along, we'll both decide and go from there. But for you, you found it pretty soon. You walked the path and showed to everyone the truth can be had. But you can give it all away. The truth and heart will stay in spite